And now a CBS4 News exclusive report, the business of lobster. We all know that South Florida has an abundance of seafood. Stone crabs, hogfish, grouper, even lionfish is proving to be a new delicacy.
But perhaps the most beloved food, the seafood of all, is Florida's spiny lobster. Yet chances are that Florida lobster you think you're eating didn't come from the waters around Florida.
That's because the majority of Florida's lobster is sent not just out to Florida, but out of the country as well. CBS4's Jim DeFede joins us now with a preview of his special report that airs this Sunday. Jim.
You know, we spend months exploring the business of lobster and its impact here at home, but in order to appreciate what is happening, you need to travel thousands of miles from the Florida Keys to a country redefining Florida's lobster trade. And so we begin our story in China. In an upscale portion of Hong Kong, the Boat Dweller Steam Hot Pot Specialist Restaurant is renowned for its live seafood. Tanks showcase the freshest offerings from around the world, but few items on the menu are likely to capture a diner's attention or have the appeal of the Florida spiny lobster. For the lobster, this was the culmination of a 9,000-mile journey. A journey that in recent years has transformed the commercial fishing industry in Florida and left restaurants from Key West to Miami struggling to keep Florida lobster on their menus. A few days ago, that lobster in Hong Kong was here, in the waters off the Florida Keys.
We're pulling some traps where we reset after the hurricane.
Gary Nichols operates a pair of lobster boats out of Conch Key, just outside of Marathon.
And the price of lobster right now is way up there.
Thanks to the Chinese, these are good days to be a lobster fisherman in Florida. Prices in recent years have ranged anywhere from $10 to $24 a pound. But that wasn't always the case. I first met Nichols in 2009, before the Chinese came into the market. At the time, price for lobster had plummeted to $3 a pound, and Nichols was struggling to keep his boats in the water.
When you can buy lobster cheaper than hamburger, it's just an insanity.
Desperate to stay afloat, Nichols said he got the idea of contacting Chinese buyers after seeing an article in a trade magazine.
I saw a Chinese person, Wan Ho, buying turtles and horseshoe crabs at the time, and they were sending them live to China. And I said, well, heck, maybe this guy, I'll give him a call.
Wan Ho eventually introduced him to this man, Larry Yi.
This is the head guy I've been telling you about. He's the biggest lobster buyer in the United States. Born
in China, Yi is a U.S. citizen and operates a seafood shipping business in New York called Elite Sky International. Yi now buys lobster from more than 100 boat captains from Key Largo to Key West.
That lobster right there that he's holding.
Yes.
When will that lobster be in China?
In 2 days.
Yi's competitors in China soon followed. There are now at least 3 other companies buying as much Florida lobster as they can get their hands on and shipping them live to China. The numbers are staggering. Starting in 2000, just 32,000 pounds of Florida lobster was shipped to China, with exports remaining flat until 2010, when the Chinese market for Florida lobster exploded. By 2013, nearly 4 million pounds of lobster was being sent from Florida to China. In terms of dollars, Florida lobster exports in recent years have ranged from $50 to $75 million a year. And after years of struggling to survive, Florida's lobster fishermen felt secure.
Thank God for the Chinese. If it wasn't for the Chinese right now, I'd be getting about $3 or $4 a pound for a lobster instead of $12, $13 a pound for a lobster.
Not everyone, however, is celebrating the new global realities.
The word spread like wildfire, and then a bunch of other Chinese came down, and then before you knew it, they were all over the place, offering astronomical prices, to the fishermen.
Manuel Priegas has been in the lobster business since 1993. It is a business his father started on the Miami River in the early 70s.
That somebody that lives in Miami can't go to a restaurant or can't go to a market and buy a Florida lobster, I don't think that's a good thing.
In order to replace the lobster being sent to China, many restaurants are having to buy frozen lobster tails from countries like Nicaragua, Honduras, and the Bahamas. And even when Florida lobster is available, The Chinese have driven up the price to the point that many local restaurants are still buying imported frozen lobster.
In a lot of those restaurants, you get a lot of tourist action, and they could sell those tourists on the fact that it's a Florida lobster when it's not. It's the same species of lobster. It's Panulirus argus, so it looks exactly the same by and large to our lobster. So only I know, and you know, and your viewers today know that that's not Florida lobster, because there is no Florida lobster being sold in restaurants or in seafood markets here in Florida. All of it goes to China. That is the bottom line.
Priegas is exaggerating, of course, but it is growing more difficult. In 2013, for instance, 3 out of every 4 lobsters caught in the Florida Keys was shipped out of the country, with the overwhelming majority of it headed straight to China. While patrons of the Boat Dweller restaurant in Hong Kong were enjoying their lobster meal, Luis Garcia had to take Florida lobster off his lunchtime menu at Garcia's restaurant on the Miami River.
It has disrupted our local economy in such a force that today I don't have lobster.
Today, you don't have Florida lobster.
Today, right now.
Garcia is lucky, though. In addition to the restaurant, his family has a small fishing operation with permits to catch lobster. With 2 boats pulling traps as we speak, he's confident they'll catch enough lobster by this evening that he can put Florida lobster back on the menu.
It was absurd having to tell somebody, I don't have lobster. I mean, I have lobster. I have some frozen stuff that I brought from Nicaragua that I have just in case this happens. And I felt horrible having to offer that to them.
Wow.
So is that raising the price of Florida lobster for us?
Yeah, no. If you go into a restaurant, we surveyed restaurants from Key West all the way up to Miami, and even the price for lobster that they then import from other countries, that's raised the price of it as well.
What does the regulation on this look like? I know that's a long answer, but
No, they can ship to China. We encourage it. Now the real question is, will the trade war that's budding with China have a real detrimental impact? And that's something we'll get into in tomorrow's piece. But yeah, no, this is it's great for the lobster fisherman, not great for the consumer.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. And tune in tomorrow night. Tune in for part 2 of this exclusive, The Business of Lobster. We'll be talking to the local fishermen about how they feel about possible U.S. sanctions against China and could they impact business. That's tomorrow.